The opinions expressed in the video you are about to see are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today we're on a very unique Spencer 70 owned by Volvo Penta Corporation. And to go over some of the features with us on this full test, Clint Moore, president of Volvo Penta of the Americas. Why did Volvo Penta go to the trouble of building this custom sportfish boat?
In order to demonstrate the technology and the benefits of the system, we had to build the boat. You could not move into this class and category of yachts without having an actual demonstrator.
When an engine manufacturer specs out a luxury sportfish boat, you can imagine the level of sophistication that the systems entail. This engine room is one of the most orderly and roomy I've seen. Not only are there 3 IPS 1200 pod drives, but twin stack generators. Battery housings are built so that the jack shafts run right through, and all systems have backups, including alternators and fuel filters. In order to more effectively distribute weight and save space, some critical components were left out of the engine room design and moved forward under the forward stateroom. That's where we can find a water maker, hot water heater, and air chillers.
When we move around, you'll see that we have the joysticks all over the boat. You can see that we have the digital positioning systems. We have the binnacle controls that we traditionally would use, but now hooked up to all of the electronics. We've got sportfish mode, which will turn this big 70-foot boat on a dime.
The Helm is quite impressive with 4 touchscreen displays allowing for customizing your information stream however you see fit, even for displaying multiple cameras located all around the boat, even on the outriggers. There are backups to everything from the VHFs to the Furuno radars, and of course, there are still the same Volvo Penta engine monitors just as on smaller boats, only this time there are 3. Interestingly enough, the entire pilot house is self-contained as far as the systems go. If you were able to remove it from the yacht and attach an engine, it would be able to power itself home. All the batteries, all the connections, they're all self-sustained in the pilot house. And with panoramic windows, visibility is outstanding. And the entire helm lifts for ease of access and additional storage. Even the aft control station is fully appointed with redundant displays. You'll find controls for sportfish mode to slow the boat down for troll speed, clear wake mode to eliminate turbulence that scares fish, and station keeping to automatically hold position. And even though the entire boat is digitally controlled, Spencer still accommodated the classic Palm Beach control sticks. All this adds a new level of technology and ease of use that is rarely combined into one boat. Now, with 3 IPS drives, what's the cost factor for having a boat like this, as opposed to a traditional one with twin shaft drive engines?
The target that we set was to have this system have about the same price as a traditional system would have, so there's very little difference in the price of a boat equipped with our solution versus the traditional solution.
Naturally, the Spencer 70 is going to be maneuverable on the joystick, but I also found it to be highly maneuverable on the standard engine controls as well. For performance, the test numbers are stunning. Top speed of 34.7 knots was reached at 2,300 RPM. At that speed, we were burning a combined 127.5 gallons per hour for a range of 318 nautical miles. Best cruise came in at 1750 RPM and 23.7 knots, where all 3 engines were burning a combined 77 gallons per hour for a range of 359 nautical miles. That sort of performance can easily translate into a $5,000 savings every time you fill up versus a comparable sportfish in this class.
I noticed that the turbos will start kicking in at about 1,200, 1,500 RPM, and then you'll feel a really significant boost to speed when you get to that point. Very responsive to the helm, much more so than I would have expected. It feels like if this were an inboard boat, we would have just huge rudders that were deflecting the thrust and giving us this maneuverability.
When accelerating, we had a time to plane of only 8.3 seconds. We reached 20 miles per hour in 11.5 seconds and cruised through 30 miles per hour in 18.3 seconds. Turns gave us about a 5-degree bank angle, and we completed a 360 in roughly 2 boat lengths.
We've got sportfish mode, which will turn this big 70-foot boat on a dime.
Can you explain to me where you came up with the idea for sportfish mode and why?
The idea for sportfish mode actually came from a fisherman. And this fisherman told us that if you could manage to cant both of the drives out, and then through software you could control the boat in a dramatic new way. So it was actually the idea of a fisherman that turned us on to sportfish mode.
Now the aft control station, I see you've still set it up with Palm Beach controls so you can chase down a fish and take advantage of this commanding view of the cockpit, but I want to see what happens without the sportfish mode, and then we'll see what it does with it. And I have controllability. but not what I would expect. Without the Sport Fish mode, I find that it handles typically of what you might find in an inboard boat, but with Sport Fish mode engaged, I was able to back this thing down with controllability, reaching almost 13, 14 miles an hour. I mean, if you can't chase a fish down at that speed, then you probably shouldn't be fishing.
With Sport Fish mode engaged, I was able to have much more speed and directional control while backing down, regardless of the boat's nearly 100,000 pound weight. Two more features are trolling valves and clear wake mode.
For trolling speeds, we've got trolling valves that will slow us down considerably. And we've also got a clean wake mode, so I want to see what our minimum trolling speed will be and if the wake will indeed be clear of bubbles. Let me turn off the clean wake mode. Here it goes off now. So that's going to start scaring your fish away for a long distance off. There's the clean wake mode turned on again, and immediately the prop wash cleans up. Here's with it turned off, and there you can see the bubbles picking up right there.
Of course, the real joy of the Spencer 70 is the handling dockside. Here is where the captain of a larger yacht such as this had an edge over the rest of the dock. He was a little bit better, a little bit more skilled. No more now that IPS has closed the gap and leveled the playing field. That's our look at the performance of Volvo Penta Spencer 70. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.